civil fire. You can make a single line, boy.
Okay, go ahead, Lane.
You can go any direction, but make sure you stay on the black spot. That's the civil fire. There you go. Except, it's more steeper. Welcome aboard C-17's open level master 3. Stay on the black side.
Actually, that's funny. Go wrong. Yep.
Wait, what's happening?
Sophie. 13.
Oh no, see you at 5.
Okay.
Next up.
You know, Milton, he got all kinds of
This is what you call the tripper.
me as a mention.
Acting? Oh, yeah.
All of them.
Hey!
Awesome. Parachutist guys coming down. Ah, thank you.
Oh, they're in there.
He's going back in.
Because we thought you were.
Come back. Stand over here so I can get your picture. Hey, Logan, look at Daddy. She brought me.
I want to get a pair for myself. She doesn't just do, she does all of this. Like you do. I would have.
We're told there would be somewhere between 300 and 500 Harleys out here this afternoon. I don't know about you. I think there's a few more than 500. What do you think? Once again, from your applause for our helicopter pilots. To Aaron Fitzgerald in the B-105 helicopter as he climbs to altitude, and we begin the Red Bull Air Force demonstration here this afternoon. Aaron Fitzgerald at the controls of that helicopter is going to climb to an altitude. We're hoping we're going to get about 9,000 feet today for this parachute demonstration. And folks, like I said, you are not going to believe what you are about to see, not only with Kirby Chambliss, a 5-time national United States aerobatic champion, 2-time Red Bull World Air Race champion, Aaron Fitzgerald, a member of an elite group of helicopter pilots, proudly brought to you by Red Bull Energy Drink, and the team of skydivers on board, which again will defy description. Parachute system. It's one of the smallest in square footage area parachute canopies used today, and you will see why here in just a moment. Now, 4 jumpers are on board the Red Bull helicopter right now as Aaron is climbing again to hopefully, that looks like, well, he's flying the Stater Brothers flag. Ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the 4 Red Bull jumpers who decided he was going to start things a little bit early. And we are very proud to introduce to you Miles Dasher as he falls out of the helicopter and begins his descent downward today, proudly flying the Stater Brothers flag, the official sponsors of the Red Bull Air Force here at SPD Fest 2018. Miles was inspired by a skydiver at the age of 10 years old while he was attending an air show in Ohio. Well, and the reason for that is Miles is an Air Force grad. With his dad being in the Air Force, they traveled all around the country, all around the world. But it was skydiving that inspired him at an early age, and he has the distinction of holding several world records, one of which is the fact that he has made the most base jumps in the world. Now, a base jump is an acronym for the B meaning a building, the A standing for an antenna, the S for a suspension structure, a bridge or something like that, and the E for an earth feature, a cliff, a canyon. That is called base jumping. Aaron has made 5,162 base jumps. In fact, in one 24-hour period, he made 64 base jumps. He is the inventor of skyacking. That's jumping out of an airplane with a kayak, as well as rope swing base jumping. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as he descends down, flying the Stater Brothers flag, please give a great big San Bernardino welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Miles Dasher flying the Stater Brothers and the Red Bull parachute. And how about that for landing on your feet a couple of times? And now to Air Show Center Stage, Kirby Chambliss in the Red Bull Edge 540 as he pulls the nose up into the Cobra maneuver. Holds it there momentarily, just a few miles an hour above zero, relying on the more than 400 horsepower of that 6-cylinder Avco Lycoming engine as Kirby rolls the aircraft and points the nose down to build up airspeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirby Chambliss, one of the world-renowned Red Bull Air Race pilots, a 2-time Air Race World Champion in Red Bull Air Racing, a 5-time United States National Aerobatic Champion. And now, high overhead, directly above you at the Air Show Center Stage, the next of our 2 Red Bull jumpers have departed the aircraft, Luke Akins and Jeffro Provenzano. You see the 4 basic aerobatic maneuvers, the loop, the roll, the stall turn, and the spin. You're seeing them all in Kirby's performance with a variety of different applications. The wingtip a few feet over the ground. Watch now as Kirby slides the aircraft into the Air Show Center Stage in a horizontal position and then pitches up and rolls the airplane out to the knife edge to your air show right. And again, the Edge 540, a world-level contest and air show and air race aerobatic aircraft. Now, Kirby standing hard on the rudder, keeping the wings level, going through a 90-degree turn and then rolling back to the knife edge, coming through the rest of the 270 degrees of this turnaround. And that's the area where he normally flies above the water or the ground in the Red Bull Air Races. Again, ladies and gentlemen, from your left, Kirby's going to stand on the rudder, slide the aircraft sideways as he comes down the runway. down below its stall speed and still performing an aileron roll as he pitches up and away to your right. Ladies and gentlemen, have your cameras ready as Kirby comes back in from your air show right in that beautiful Red Bull Edge 540. This is his salute to you here at SBD Fest 2018 that he has enjoyed performing for you. Give him a wave as he goes by. The 5-time national and 2-time world Red Bull Air Race champion, Kirby Chambliss. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Kirby is going to get set up for what is without a doubt the most demanding, the most difficult maneuver he will perform in today's flight. From your air show left, ladies and gentlemen, Kirby Chambliss is now going to attempt to land. Like they say, a good landing is one you can walk away from, but a great one is when you can use the airplane again. But here, folks, we're talking about air show professionals, and we have the very best you've seen. Just the first of our air show entertainers for the afternoon, and certainly one of the most unique in the world today, the Red Bull Air Force, and very proudly brought to you by Stater Brothers here in Southern California, proud sponsors of SBD Fest 2018 and the Red Bull Air Force. Kirby taxiing in right Texan demo team from 2003 through 2006. He is retired from the United States Navy, where he spent 26 years flying jet aircraft, with 2,000 hours in the F-4 Phantom, another 1,000 in the A-4 Skyhawk, 700 in the F-9 Cougar, as well as numerous hours in the C-12, the T-33, the T-34, and the T-38. He went on to his career.
German line freeway. That's the one that you say line up. I know, but why is that supposed to go on? Oh, this is part of the war, you know. Yeah.
Sunday, a week from tomorrow, is going to be Veterans Day. Coincidentally, it will also be the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. Now, for all of you history buffs out there, World War I was known as the war to end all wars. Well, it didn't, unfortunately, because wars continued. and so did the service of American men and women. So with next Sunday being Veterans Day, we will honor those men and women. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, as far as many of us Empire. The Aero Club also possesses 3 Cessna 172s and a 182. All of them are available for rental or instruction, leading to private, commercial, and the yellow aircraft in the lead today is being flown by Pete Hunt on the takeoff roll right now. This silver North American AT-6 with the checkerboards. This aircraft being flown by Dan Kirkland, and the next aircraft on the takeoff roll, this particular airplane also silver with green stripes on the wings, which we'll tell you a little bit about as they fly past. The AT-6, which stands for Advanced Trainer, was first produced in 1938 by North American Aviation.
So John DeMore's flying a wingsuit that gives him the ability to fly 120 miles an hour forward, sustained speeds. He says goodbye to Kirby right now as he comes right over our heads and opens his parachute. A beautiful embassy made by Squirrel. Look at that thing, right on heading. That's how we do it in the mountains as well. John's currently working on a video web series called Miles Above, which is about to release December 1st. We have our 3rd seasons of Miles Above coming out. So check us out on the World Wide Web and go to YouTube, punch in Miles Above, and you can see what we're up to. These last 2 years, December 1st, we're coming out with season 3. Look at him just floating up there, getting a bird's eye view. Alaska, Eagle Eye, John DeMore. Here he goes, diving down. Every time you turn a parachute, it dives and gets speed, and that's what we do when we land, is we're trying to dive our parachutes, generate speed, come in hot so you have extra flare power to kind of pull up, Red Leader. Yeah, he's just grabbing a toggle and burying it down and doing hard toggle turns right there. John likes to, I think he might be setting up for a 720. Let's see. A little bit more, here we go. Alaska John DeMore starting his downwind final and base leg, all in one spin spiral. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, Alaska John DeMore.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, high and to your right, Kirby Chambliss in the Red Bull Edge 540, circling, rolling over the top and underneath of Aaron Fitzgerald in the B-105 helicopter. And watch carefully now at your air show left as our 2 air show professionals and Red Bull Air Force pilots demonstrate the same maneuver but in 2 entirely different types of aircraft as they pull the nose of the Edge 540 and the MBB 105 helicopter into the vertical, in each of them executing the hammerhead turnaround. One of the 4 basic aerobatic maneuvers, but one that should not be performed by a helicopter. But folks, we're not talking about just any helicopter. We are talking about the Red Bull B-105 helicopter, a German design from Messerschmitt Opel Blom, one of the only helicopters in the world able to do aerobatics. He has just performed the looping maneuver in a helicopter. Now, this helicopter was designed not as an aerobatic performer, but as a tank, an anti-tank weapon. Because of its role, it's an anti-tank weapon and a helicopter that flies what we call nape of the earth, close to the ground. It has a rigid rotor. It is this rigid rotor the strength of this rigid rotor that enables Aaron to perform aerobatic maneuvers like a perfect roll. 360 degrees of roll. Aaron Fitzgerald, known as Fitz to all of his friends, was born in Portland, Oregon. He now calls Wenatchee, Washington home. He served in the United States Army as a paratrooper in the Airborne Division. He began flight training in 1994. He started flying news helicopters in Los Angeles. He primarily focuses now on flying for the film and television industry, as well as being one of the featured Red Bull Air Force helicopter pilots. He has performed and filmed over 100 movies and TV shows. He also flies utility in the mountainous terrain as well as offshore support. He has flown in flight test programs for NASA. He was introduced to helicopter aerobatics in 2017, joined the Flying Bulls that same year, the helicopter team for Red Bull. He is the only American on that helicopter team. And as he is demonstrating for you here today, ladies and gentlemen, a helicopter should not be able to do this. It is a rotary wing structure. The rotor, in this case, a solid rotor, is attached to those blades, and the blades are in an airfoil shape. And as they spin around, that provides the lift, the same thing that a wing does on a fixed. And how about a big shout out for Owen and Ian Fitzgerald, who I'm sure are quite proud of their dad here today. Located in Salzburg, Austria, and there is the home of the finest examples of restored aircraft in the world, most if not all of which are capable of flight. Many of them demonstrated throughout Europe during the air show season. And ladies and gentlemen, with Aaron overhead and a helicopter passing by right now, how about a big round of applause for Unical and our two veteran pilots today, Tony and Bruce, both Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan veterans, for their performance. Now to the Airshow Center stage as Aaron brings the nose of the Red Bull B-105 helicopter back down in a spiraling descent. He is going to get set up right here at the Airshow Center stage, folks, as he performs this maneuver to say thank you, San Bernardino Fest 2018, for having the Red Bull Air Force be a part of your air show. And folks, give him a wave. There is a bow from Aaron Fitzgerald in the Red Bull B-105 helicopter. How about it for Aaron?
Yeah.
That's just where you
And now, ladies and gentlemen, high into your air show right. The smoke is on. The five-time United States National Aerobatic Champion, two-time World Red Bull Air Race Champion, Kirby Chambliss, as he dives the Red Bull Edge 540 down into the Airshow Center stage, demonstrating for you the outstanding performance of this aircraft, which was one of Kirby's original Red Bull racing aircraft. He has a second aircraft that he keeps in Texas, which is configured now for Red Bull racing, but he started racing in this particular airplane. It is also an aircraft with Kirby has obtained those 5 U.S. National Aerobatic Championships. The Edge 540, a composite aircraft combined with a steel tube fuselage, a 540 cubic inch Lycoming engine. This airplane is capable of rolling at more than 400 degrees per second. With more than 400 horsepower, it can climb at 5,000 feet per minute and demonstrate these types of maneuvers that have won Kirby these World Championship recognition. You'll notice in Kirby's performance today that his flying lines are perfect, horizontal, 45-degree and 90-degree lines, the signature of a champion air show and aerobatic pilot. Rolling the aircraft now on the horizontal axis, a 1/4 roll, and then a series of snap rolls as he climbs, hanging the aircraft now on the propeller. Watch now as he reaches 0 airspeed, holds it there momentarily, pushes the stick forward, tumbles the aircraft 3/4 into an inverted position, lets it hang, and then brings the nose through the horizon. 3/4 of a snap on the way down, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think of our Red Bull Air Race champion, Kirby Chambliss? his skydiving skills. Straight up, Kirby takes the aircraft up and over the top, this time tumbling the aircraft tail over nose, end over end. Initial left. Kirby pulls the nose of the Red Bull Edge 540 up and over the top. Now this is very similar to what you would see him do if you watch the Red Bull air races on television as they continue to go around most of the time over water. Right now though, Kirby keeps the aircraft inverted, pushing the stick forward, experiencing more than 5 negative Gs, then rolling to the upright, a quarter roll, and then a snap roll on the vertical upline, directly into the sun, but into the